Do 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 do. Da, 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 da. I'm pumped up. This music always gets me. I don't know what this is about. This music. So much hype every time. Hello everybody, welcome to the stream. It's gonna be an exciting one. I don't know. Kind of a nerdy one. We're gonna talk anatomy today. I'm still in my doing my setups. Professional streamer, professional YouTuber here. I'm doing all the settings after I start. I'm still doing and focusing a lot on focus now. Okay. All right. Hey, perfect. I'm still focusing a lot on the on my drawing, my big drawing program, project, and I need to compile a lot of resources, and right now I'm working on anatomy resources. This is the thing that I've dreaded for months, for weeks, for maybe this project has been in my head for more than a year at least, and for the longest time I pushed it back, procrastinating for I don't count anymore, but a long time. And well, now it's time to actually start doing things seriously and make the resources. So what I want to do is I want to draw some anatomy for artists resources, like my own, based on my own research, instead of just compiling stuff that I've seen somewhere else. I'm digging a little bit more. It's what I usually do, it's the kind of stuff that I did for my color theory. I started to look around for stuff. I was not really pleased with what I could see, and so I decided to make my own resources and come up with my own stuff. So that's the same spirit here that I want to do with that I want to do alongside my good buddy Albert. Albert here. So you might remember Albert from years ago. I've had Albert for a while, so we're going to study Albert in details. This is my old friend Molière as well, right there, and this is our newcomer, my little dude, little buddy. His name is Buddy. So we've seen Buddy last time. Buddy's not gonna be super helpful for today. Well, you can. Oh, sorry, bro. Oh, you can unscrew the head, I think. I don't know why it would be useful here, but it's still going to be useful to learn a bit about how the head attaches to the spine. It's always nice, always pleasant. Actually, oh, Buddy had a very tough. Oh, sorry. Oh, okay, here, Buddy can just. Oh, I'm breaking Buddy apart. Sorry. But yeah, we'll study that when the time comes. So that's what I want to do today. I want to do a plate of the head and neck. Basically, if you don't know, if you've never studied anatomy for an artist, no brain, Buddy. No, doesn't need a brain for the level of this stream. No need for a brain, I can assure you. For the quality of the entertainment, you definitely don't need a brain. Hello Felicia. So hello to everybody. Hello Cody. Happy birthday, man. Ryan. Hello. Thanks for sharing this with us. No problem, my friend. I'm mostly doing my recordings while you're there. It's like I would be doing it no matter what. And it's right now I've been procrastinating on this drawing project for so long that now I think it's kind of the summertime, so it's kind of a low period online, not much is happening in the, you know, creative sphere. So like I'm dedicating myself to this drawing project for the time being. It might last, I don't know how long it can last, but you know, I think it will take me a couple months yet to finish this stuff. Hello, screenshot. Okay, screenshot of me, I guess. So hey, or maybe this. Maybe you took this. So a white sheet of paper. Okay, okay, I see. So let's get here. So yeah, I figured I need to really put all my efforts into this project at the moment. Let's see, where do I draw? From here to here. I'm checking my frame. Do I have the right frame? Yeah, so I figured I need to really put my actual creative paintings on hold for the moment. Like I do have projects going on, but I need to just finish this project, this big drawing project, and when I'm done, I'll be much more present and I'll have much more creative time. So right now, it's pretty much all I'm gonna do. That and regular YouTube stuff. Yeah, because I just need to, you know, go for it and just do it. Otherwise, I know myself, I'm always going to procrastinate. And this thing is going to take years. It's already been like at least more than a year. The echo just started randomly. The sound did change. Okay. Sound did change. I can. Okay, I can start like that. How is it now? Let me know about the sound, you guys. So there's the music. I can cut this off better. The sound is better. Just let me know. Sometimes it's just, oh, it's fixed. Okay. Yeah, it's always the same same problems. It's just my audio engine. Just my audio engine. So yeah, like as I was saying, I don't know. Do you sometimes feel like you try to start more than you can finish? And I'm pretty sure it's not me. I'm pretty sure it's not just me. I can't be the only one, but I have a serious problem of starting a lot of stuff and finishing very little. Which was already a problem for me, creatively speaking, with my main art. I was struggling with that, so I figured, well, at least let's work on the drawing theory, the drawing project, and let's focus on things that are. I'm not saying it's easy. But like the real creative stuff is hard. So hope you can see. Albert is here. So right here, I want to study. Oh yeah, I want to show you something, but I might need to put a little post-it note or a little something to hide. For YouTube, for copyright reason. I'm gonna show you something that I'm really proud of, that I had for a long time, but and to show you the spirit of the anatomy stuff that I want to do here. So for this plate, I want to create a plate that I'll later. So what I'll do is I'll do the draft with actual pencils because I suck with a tablet. So I want to do the draft. I want to draw with real life, real life pencils. And then I'll transfer into, I'll scan and I'll put this on my tablet, and I'll just retrace on my tablet. It will be much easier for me. So what I'll do is I'll do the drafts things. I'll do the studies. I'll also gather all the resources for me to study. Refresh my knowledge of anatomy, which is not good, I can assure you that. But my goal is to simplify it, so that's what we'll be talking about. And yeah, so what I want is I want to start with paper stuff, then transfer it into resources that are more digestible for the internet. But to show you the spirit that I want, I'm gonna show you I want to show you a figure drawing that I did a while ago, just to give you an idea of the kind of stuff we're talking about. Okay, so where is it? So this is my drawing portfolio. This one, no. I'm looking for the right drawing. It's a very old one. This one I'm not going to unpack because it's a nightmare. Oh, it's not this one. This is a cast. So it should be in my figure drawing. This is old stuff. I'm re-digging old stuff. I think it's 2014. Okay, yeah, that's it. Okay. Cover your eyes, YouTube. Cover your eyes. I need to find something because there is intimate parts showing. Traditionally in the world of art, this shouldn't be a big deal, but for the YouTube algorithm doesn't care. So cover your eyes. Bam. And where's the écorché? Okay, it's here. All right. Bear with me. I can assure you that you'll be happy. Well, I'll be happy because I actually need this stuff right now. Now that I'm compiling all this knowledge for the internet. So be patient, be patient. Right here. See, you never know. What year was it? $2014, I think. It's not dated, but okay, let me attach it here. I should have prepared this stuff earlier. Try to not damage it because I kind of need it. Oh, YouTube! You didn't see anything. Alright, yeah, this is the skeleton here. Basically, what I did for this project is I had a I'm trying to hide this revealing part. I'm sorry. Like, if YouTube was a... sorry. If YouTube was a decent platform, this wouldn't be a problem, but hey, apparently it is. So, hiding things in areas that we should not talk about. So, hey, okay. Okay, you've seen nothing. I hope it won't damage too much. So, this is Rui. He was a model, live model, so right here, there you go. So live model, beautifully carved man. It was a pleasure to draw this model. He was an amazing model, really cool. Hello Malak, hello Jeremy. Bones, yeah, you see Bones. So I did this figure drawing a while ago. And I had the time, I finished, before the end of the session, I finished with the entire drawing before the end of the session. So I had the time to study the écorché. This was back when I was in London. And I had the time to study the écorché, which was great. I had the time to really go into the theory. So what I did is so after I finished this, I'm going to show you. Very nice torso, nice musculature, legs. So I'm just showing you the entire thing. And after I finished the figure, the full figure, because it was a 60-hour pose, pretty long, I had the time to study the bones, which was super cool. Thank you, Jeremy. So I did this because, well, I had a skeleton right here in the same room, in the figure room. Yeah, it would be okay for educational purposes, like for sure. Like in my drawing project, it will not be covered like that. It's just YouTube, it's silly YouTube silliness. Yeah, pretty superhero pose. And so I had the time to study very much in detail. I was really done very early with this, and you see how I made the skull behind. So that's the idea is to have something like that. See, zing, zong, bada zing, bada zong. That's the purpose of this entire thing. Is basically, after I was done with this guy, I traced the contour. Then I transferred this contour on this other sheet of paper, and then by simply studying the anatomy, just by studying the anatomy, I did what's called an écorché. It comes from the French écorché, which means scorched man. A scorched man. Hold on, I need to readjust the cam. Hello. Okay. Need to center it. So basically, what I had the time for was studying from the live model. You look at the live model, and you see the salient points, right? All the salient points that are there. For example, you can match them to the underlying structure, because you have some key anatomical landmarks, some surface anatomy that's basically showing through on the surface. And the skull has a lot of prominent areas, namely this one, the susorbital. Like I know them in French. I know some of them in French, not all of them. And like in English, like most of my studying will have to be relearning or learning the words for the first time in English. So this area here is a prominence. This area around the eye. It's nicely covered by flesh, so you don't see it too much. This one. Of course, this part of the nose is the most prominent part of the nose as well. Like this is bone, pure bone, and the rest is cartilage, which is why there's a missing part right here that's just cartilage. Orbital bone. Yeah. But there's a thing, there's a different name for the susorbital, or I don't know. You know, whatever. Let's not talk like crazy nerdy words, because the whole point of this is actually simplifying. So what really matters in this entire thing is more this. See, the simplified structure. That's more what I'm talking about. The simplified, this is just the simplification of the planes of the head. The kind of the structure of how the spine attaches, where it attaches. This is what you should go for. Like this entire écorché, if you want to do an écorché like that, that's pretty cool, and I definitely think that you should. But you don't necessarily need all the intricate details. What matters most is, you know, stuff like that, the structure, understanding how the volume is built, how it affects the weight of the body, how the body carries itself. For example, here in this part, in the torso, what was really interesting with this study was understanding how it's nicely curved like that. See, it's not flat and straight and completely flush. There is a slight curve. The model is resting on something, so it's not entirely flat and straight like a broomstick. There's a nice curve like that, right? And it's very interesting to see it, because when you study the movement of the spine, this little curve sort of starts like that. So it almost goes from one side and the other. So basically, this is a very gracious movement, and most of this upper part of the torso is pretty much straight, because, well, it can't really move that much, especially laterally. It can't move laterally because of the torso, the rib cage. Can't move that much on, like, but the rotation point starts right there below this point. So right here it would be curved slightly, not too much though, especially from left to right. We don't rotate that much. It's like a very forced movement. Like, to just turn your head, you don't need to rotate the entire spine. So here it's mostly straight, and here it rotates ever so slightly. What's interesting is also to notice the contrapposto. So in the contrapposto, if you don't know, it's just a different angles between the hips, the clavicles. That's always very elegant. And yeah, so basically that's what I want to do. I'm gonna take, for example, I'm gonna take this guy, I'm going to transfer it with my tablet, because there's no way I can do that with my tablet, but I can, with my tablet, at least I'll have all the elements, and I'll add the elements with my computer. And I want to do plates of the various parts. So today I want to study the head and neck. So I want to do a sort of a zoomed in version of this just on the head, and I'll also want to study and show various muscles of the neck. One super important thing about the sorry, trying to oh no, still far from. Very important thing about portraits is to get the neck right. Like, you can have the most beautiful, the cervical spine, exactly. Well, if you need to understand how the cervical spine, for example, articulates the movement of the head. You need to focus, please. And you also need to understand the muscles, the main muscles of the neck. Otherwise, you can paint an absolutely beautiful. You can paint or draw an absolutely beautiful, beautiful face. It won't matter that much. Sorry, still need to do some readjustment. Keep changing. If the neck, if you don't do the neck properly, it will look like very weak and strange. So the neck has a huge importance. Something that you see, man, am I going to change my, I don't want to change my camera too much. I keep changing my cam. So a big part of portrait is understanding the anatomy of the neck. Let me look. I don't want to change the camera again, so I'm gonna just hold it like that. See this very nice movement, nice tilt of the head and all. It's all supported by, I don't know if you can see them, very nice muscles of the neck that are nicely, you can see them. They're subtle, they're very present, and this is exactly what you want. I'm sorry, you have some nasty shadows that are not making it easy, but you see how important this it builds up the strength, and it also makes the movement. See how the shape of the neck and the shape of how it attaches to the clavicle. You see the little hole just above the clavicle? How it attaches to the rest of the body is absolutely crucial, and it's one essential part of the portrait that's very often, left on the side. But you don't leave that on the side without sacrificing the visual appeal of how your head looks. So, all right, let's just first do the skull profile of the skull for this little plate, and let's see how it goes. So I had some proportion plates just to check. Yeah, the two muscles that form the V. So I know about these. Are you ready for names? Names. So there's the trapezoid, of course, that shape, kind of the mass, the big bulk wrapping around the back, and also the exterior part of the clavicle. And so the trapezius, and the other ones, the two big muscles that we have in the neck, the two like strong one. There's a lot of tendons, but the two strongest muscles, like the one that reshape the neck. On mine, it's not very prominent because I'm not that big of a muscular guy. It's the sternomastoid, and the sternohyoid, whatever. We'll simplify the shapes. I have a trick to simplify the shape. But first, let's go for this skull. I was just checking because I know that I have some proportions for faces. Oh, okay, no. No, it's not relevant for this plate. So I'm just gonna draw the skull as I see it. Start with something. You'll probably not see a lot at first. It's kind of normal. So a lot of it is just room for the brain. Thirds from hairline. Yeah, and divided in thirds. Yeah, I'm puzzled about anatomy books because in a way I like them, but in another way I've never really found a good use for them. I have some of them, some of the good ones, but you know, I never really found a good, like, there are the very descriptive ones which are very useful because they tell you everything you need to know, but a lot of the times, except actually my best anatomy book to this day, doesn't look like a Homo sapiens. This one, my best anatomy book is actually Loomis's book. Has the best simplification system for anatomy that actually reveals itself useful. I start with the basic architecture, and I'll you'll see more when the figure clears out. Okay, let's try to check at the same time so not to make too many mistakes. I want to draw some sort of a simplified version. This one. Well, we'll get into that. It's just I want to start with the underlying structure. Then on the side, I'll also do a simplified shape, sort of to show people basically the real thing and how to simplify for figure drawing. Like the most useful stuff is the simplified stuff. I didn't have time to explore that much, Cody. So this area is mostly covered by cheek, but this starts a pretty important plan of the face. So this would be here. Absolutely, Felicia. Very true, very true. Hold on, let's draw a line. I need to have proportions on point. Oh, I know what's not right. It's the forehead. Okay. And next, so I'll do the skull, and next I'll build around it. I'll build the kind of the fleshy parts, and then I'll do a simplified head. What's very important in yes, like I know that the scientists they can find a female from a male just based on the skull. That's definitely what they do in, you know, scientific police, stuff like that, archaeology. They know all about this stuff. I'm not sharp enough to see this these nuances. I would even, like, for example, for the pelvis, there's a huge difference. I wouldn't be able to tell, like, except if I have both of them side by side, I would say, okay, this is male, this is female. But just give me a pelvis out of nowhere, like, I wouldn't be able to say without the counterpart. I wouldn't I wouldn't be able to say which is which. Very subtle in the skull, okay. Okay, there's more space. for the brain. Okay, it's just shorter here. Okay. Get it. Joking about what? About the bones? I would not think it is a joke. I'm pretty sure the scientists can, just seeing a bone, like just seeing a skull, they can know if it's male or female. That's no joke. I don't know how they do it. They sure can spot some differences. No, the camera didn't show. Maybe earlier? Why? Did I get the sensor? Oh, I didn't catch this coming. Oh yes, exactly. The brow bones of the forehead, the jaws. Yeah, I assume. What's kind of very creepy though, so it's looking at a child's skull. They are so different. It's kind of morbid and creepy in this case. Like for an adult skull, it's like, okay, you're just studying anatomy. For a kid's skull, it's like disturbing. It's very disturbing. No, there is a reason. It's just more. It's just more better. Yay! Yeah, it's more better. In many cases, there's different types of strokes, different types of holding the pencil, and this one is for kind of inaccurate, spontaneous placement. This one would be more for shading. And this would be for details. The writing one, the one you are most used to, is mostly for details. And this one would be mostly for, you know, just spontaneous lines. Yeah, every kind of stroke deserves its own kind of hold. What is this jaw? Something wrong. Oh yeah, I should remember there's the 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock thing. Jeff doesn't work? What's going on? Oh my. Oh, there's an update. No, cancel the update. Well, Jeff should work. Okay, Jeff doesn't work. Jeff's still missing. Big sad. Jeff's still missing, guys. Nah, it doesn't work. I'm sorry. I need to find Jeff. Maybe the meme died. Jeff is in Oklahoma. Oh, good. I'm relieved. Nah, Jeff doesn't work. Jeff is missing. Okay, so now let's try to study. So we have the skull. Now let's study the skull. I want to create a. Oh my god. It cracked severely. Oh, okay, I can't move it more than that. I want to study the movement of the head. So I want to study this. This here. So it attaches right there. And don't worry after that, the goal of the plates is to simplify, so we'll definitely simplify. There's actually a hole right there. I see from this skull that I can push this, make this less prominent. That's what I'll be doing. Albert is kind of a special face. Yeah, so what I want is to have the cervicals and I want to see the model. So now, what I want to overlap and overlay a real head. Let's try to get the same model that I had before. Okay. Hi Nancy, I'm fine, doing fine. How about you? I assume each person has a different skull shape, so if I wanted to adjust to my model, make this less prominent. I'm not gonna count teeth, but do that if you fancy. Oh, thank you, Nancy. Huge fan. Thank you, Chad. Painting because of me. Wow, that's cool. I like hearing that. I'm not sure, like, I was somewhere on your journey and I was there, but you would have been painting even if I wasn't there. You would just maybe you would have find it more confusing at first, but you would have done it, I know. But I'm happy that my content helped. Okay, so one thing you can start with is you can start with the Atelier canal. It's basically at the end of this bone right there is a hole almost in the center. Like if you took a compass, you could draw almost a perfect circle around this, and this would be the Atelier canal. So you can draw your ear around that. So the eye from the side looks something like that. See, this is the shape of the eye from the side. Thank you, Chad. Obviously, the line so there's a prominence here, so the skin is almost flush on the almost flush on the bone. Actually, I don't like this shape, this face. I don't like this face for my skull. I'm gonna change it just so that it looks more like the model that I want. Nose is a bit longer, I guess. Okay. I know it's silly, but I would like this face to look like the model I showed you earlier. So now I'm trying to match kind of the physique of my model. Namaste from France. Namaste to you. They're great, absolutely great. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. This, I know that this area breaks, but the rest in the skull, not much breaks, and the rest, Alright, I'll outline then when I'm done with this model. And then I'll outline with a black pencil when I'm satisfied with the overlap, and you'll see you'll have a better idea of what I want to do. Would like to position it so with the clavicle facing the front. And I would like to show the muscles of the neck. So clavicle would be here. Once I'm done with the pencil, I'll make it look better, I promised. trying not to get it wrong. This guy had a pretty clean brush haircut. I don't know how you call this kind of haircut. I make it more natural with. The area between the eyes is the widest rigid part of an octopus. We have bone with cartilage in them. Oh. It's how they know how small of a hole they can fit through, just based on the size of their eye bone. Oh, it's cool. Actually looks kind of like Arnold in a way. Don't you think? Kind of look like Schwarzenegger. Don't you see a bit of Arnold right now? With the haircut and all? Just to show you as a reference point, I'm not going for Arnold actually because I want to use this model. I want to use this model on all the plates. So the likeness that I'm going for is this. That is difficult. It's tricky. Maybe the forehead is more flat on this model. I know it's going to be very confusing. Alright, so let's go for Arnold then. Arnold would be a great subject for muscle study. What's not to like? So the brow, the eyebrow, this is an important part. The eyebrow here wraps around the orbital bone. See how the eyebrow wraps around this cavity here? I think the haircut also plays a big role in how much it looks like Arnold. Okay. So because the most important element here in this study, I want to really study how these muscles work. Yeah, mostly. I always keep the replay, standing on the channel. So don't worry, Leslie. Some things that might happen is I might have the video might get flagged, so you might have a little bit of a hard time finding it again. And the video might get flagged for nudity. That's all. Okay. So behind the ears is this muscle. So you might need to actually start using a different pencil. Now for the flesh and bone and muscles, I'm going to use this. This black. It will it should let it pop. So this would be probably the line that it would outline with my computer on my tablet. Like that Arnold look. Okay, so now I should try to get this right. So this would be a prominence. So this would be one of the main muscles of the neck. So this one is the first one that attaches to the clavicle. There's another one behind. It's less prominent, it's kind of hidden, but it attaches just here. The there's two anchor points. And then there's the trapezius. The trapezius should wrap around this. Hold on. I need to double check that. Let me double check that. I have a little doubt. So let me try to see how it works. Check my notifications back to me. I don't know what to say. Sometimes notifications on YouTube. Very finicky. Very finicky. I don't know how they work, to be honest. Okay, let's check this anatomy. Okay. Zooming in. Okay, it starts all the way in the back. Oh, okay, wraps around. Okay, so the trapezius is very long. Okay. So once. And because the face is turned like that, you see the trapezius attaches here and it wraps around. Wraps around here. So I can always retouch with my tablet when I come back and finish this stuff on my computer. Okay. And of course on this side, because the head is turned like that, oh, apparently this one is okay. So apparently this I was trusting the... Oh, interesting. I was trusting Loomis's design, but apparently this one is not directly attached to the clavicle, it's attached to the sternum. Which is not the same. But in terms of visually speaking, well, it is the same, absolutely. Okay. Alright, now just for effect, I'm going to do all the little shading on the skull and all, just because, you know, I'm too bad at doing this with a tablet. I know it would be much more effective. I would like to have some cool shading. Basically, the skull being kind of graphite, and the overlay being this black pencil, kind of more visible. Oh yeah, it is definitely tricky because right here I'm working on the plate for the non-simplified version, and then I'll have a sort of a simplified. It's like I'm working on all the research, so I need the full resource. Basically, I'm doing the complicated stuff to create the resource so that you don't have to bother about this stuff. That's the idea, at least. So the goal here is I'm creating my resources, my anatomy resources, to help better visualize the planes of the face, the structure of the face, how the underlying structure, you know, affects the appearance. But, you know, absolutely for you, like, you don't necessarily have to bother with that. And if I was not trying to make the resources for my website and for my project, I wouldn't be bothering with that. Like, anatomy is, it's tricky. Anatomy is useful sometimes, deceptive very often, and confusing all the time, almost all the time. However, if you know anatomy right, if you know how to use anatomy the right way, it can be a great help. Like, anatomy is like, it's a good help to lift any doubt. You know, when you're, let's say you're drawing a portrait and you're wondering, hey, what is this shape here? How is this part of the face supposed to, why is there a little bump right there? Or how come the forearm has these little tiny muscles? What are they, you know? If you get the anatomy, you understand that, and it becomes much more clear. It starts to make sense, and all of a sudden your drawings have a better structure and they feel less, you know, less weak. So it matters in a way, but it also doesn't matter that much. Because you can also rely on observing the model carefully. You can find most of your answers in just observation. So right here, I'm building the all-encompassing model, but I'll also make a simplified version next here. Hey, Kevin. Yeah, those neck muscles are actually, there are way more neck muscles. Like intersecting here are neck muscles, like around here. Obviously, these are the most prominent ones. Just the ones that you would need to care about for portraits and figures in general. So you need the trapezius, super important for, you know, the arch of the shoulders. Obviously more prominent for men, but still important for women. You don't want to have, like, you know, tiny, super weak neck muscles and back muscles. It also, the trapezius also support the head, and like a lot of the time people have sore muscles around the neck. It's the trapezius. That's the part that you know, super crucial part. It's the part that you massage to get rid of the pain. I could go for the detail of this inside here. Where would I find it? Cartilage. Is the Adam's apple is cartilage? Alright. It's just, you know, I'm doing this just because I suck so bad with a tablet. I want to have a base that I can then scan with my tablet, and then I just have to go over the lines with the brush tools. I don't know, it feels much more organic to me. It's just that I suck at tablets so much. I'd rather spend the hours here than trying to get it with my tablet directly. Alright, so that's one. Okay, now I'm going to do about here. I'll make the simplified head. Well, let's do it the same size. We'll have one head here. So we'll have one profile. We'll have profile. And then front facing. Let's put it here. Okay. Profile 3/4 front facing. This will I'll have the rotation from this one to this one. Yeah, let's do that. Alright, so here. Here I'm using a simplified model that's from Loomis, which is very good. I use a sort of an adapted method, but it's still the same idea. Same idea as Loomis. I think that it works really well. So we first draw a little sphere, which is basically this part of the skull. You overlap a bit here. Then you decide of the angle by just drawing a line along the sphere. Hold on, by the way, the sphere. Let's check the just checking the focus real quick. And I'll check something else. Thank you, Sava Arts. Well, good for you, Sava. Happy for you. Art is the best way to fight against this kind of stuff or deal with it, depending on how you want to see it. So you then, yeah, you want to draw a sphere. You draw a line for the direction of the head, and instead of wrapping around the entire sphere, the line will just go straight like that. From here, and this would be the brow line. So this line. and then go straight. So this would be the chin right there. Jawline. Yeah, that's the emoji wall music. I don't know what playlist this is, but there is apparently the emoji wall. But, you know, since all the commands are broken at this point, at least like that we can enjoy some emoji goodness. So you'll have the brow line like here. Well, what I like to do is I like to draw the shape like that. And from the brow line, I like to do this and cut the plane, basically all this. It's like you shave off this entire side of the skull. Like Loomis has a nice way to show it with this kind of knife idea. Pretty much the same for me. So the eyes would be below here. I think probably. So this is what Felicia was mentioning. 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. We have 1/3 from here. From hairline to was it from hairline to nose to I'll do this when I'm done with the simplified head structure. This would be the simplified head structure, and then what I like to do, I like to go like that. If you want to position the eyes, you do that. And you have a basic eye shape. If you need to position the nose, it would be somewhere here. To browse, to bottom of nose, to brows, to bottom of nose, to bottom of chin. Yeah. 1/3. So you take this, divide it into 3. I'm gonna take Felicia's measure because I know it again. So bottom of nose, bottom of chin. Yeah, hairline. No, yeah, that's not it. That's not it. You'll have a hairline. Would be here. Hairline. Brow, bottom of nose. So the nose would be here approximately. So this would be Yeah, the eyes are approximately halfway from top to bottom of the chin. This would be the brow line, so the eyes are below. But actually the brow line is more useful than the eye line for a simplified face, because this would be, see, this would be the where the orbital bone is, not the eyes, so the eyes are below. So if you want to position the eyes, you just position them below. But it's much more useful to use the bone shape rather than the position of the eyes, because the eyes are a sort of a a wet, flexible part of the body, so they move around and they are not, compared to this brow line, which is directly connected to the orbital bone. So you know that you have something like rigid as a sort of a reference point. Guys, less distance from brow to eye than gulls? I didn't know that. But it makes sense. It makes sense. This is what gives this, you know, kind of intense, kind of Chad look. When, you know, you have the eyes, kind of, have the brow like that. You know, the eye very small like that. Like very typical, like, you know, kind of epic male gaze, you know, very, you know, this kind of very superhero-like kind of gaze with a huge orbital bone, huge cheekbones. See? Not very feminine, right? Because the orbital bone would go around like that, and again, that's a crucial part. I'll make a little visual for that. Crucial part is how the eyebrow wraps around this hole and like starts along and follows it, but depending on how you look, depending on the orientation of the head, it might be more or less pronounced. And if you frown, and if you know, depending on lots of things. Okay, so this head here is the kind of simplified skull shape that I like to use personally. And from there, you know, from there. You can attach it. Let's actually run a simplified muscle structure as well. So the simplified muscle, basically it makes an M. I don't know if everybody feels handsome when looking in the mirror. I think most people see their defaults mostly. Like, I think it's rare people who see the beautiful things about themselves. Okay. See this okay, I need to simplify, but I need to make it still visible enough. I think I had a little mnemonic trick to remember how it's shaped. I'm just going to do it like that. Thank you, Mila. I'm glad you do. Okay, what else? What else would be interesting for us? So head and neck. So let's do this a front face. So front facing face. So it's very simple, except that this time it's cut that. So you still want to really what's the most important is this line. This line is kind of the most important, I think. In understanding the structure of the face, this line is one of the most important in the positioning. So this kind of virtual line is very important because it sets up the kind of the orientation of the gaze. Where is my figure looking at? Where to? But the this temple line that comes from here and here, so this side also helps a great deal in positioning and rotating the skull. The nose line is approximately here where the fake sphere ends. It's just a virtual shape, so you erase it afterwards. Is Jeff using my easel? Jeff is missing, unfortunately, so we're all pretty sad. Oh, you and Felicia, okay. Oh, really? What's going on? What's going on, Felicia? Thumb is locked. I'm gonna make it a little bit less Chad-like. By the way, Chad, I don't know. I'm sorry for saying Chad. I'm using the Chad kind of meme, but I hope you don't feel offended. I just realized that you have this name. Pretty Chad name, if you ask me. I don't know why this name became such a meme. Okay, good. I enjoy the attention, yeah. Alicia is always the evil person? What? Really? How? Why? Like, go ahead, give me a... like, I don't have a show in mind right now to prove it right. Well, to prove it wrong, or to prove it right, you would have to watch all the movies and shows and prove that Felicia is always the evil one. That'd be tough. Like, not a single... I'm sorry. I would like to affirm your theory, but I can't even find a single movie or show with Felicia as the bad guy or bad girl. What? Certainly will come, Cody. For sure. Alright, so let me see. Do I want to add other elements in there? Should I dive into the anatomy of nose and... I don't think the anatomy of nose matters that much. Even though it's tricky, you know, like the anatomy of the ear. I don't know. More into the sort of the sculptural aspect of it. Well, you know what? I'm gonna leave it at that for this study. I'm not gonna add too much because it's just a draft for the version I'll do on the computer. So for this one, it will do 2 hours. I think it's a decent amount of time. So I think I'll stop it here. All right, my friends. Yeah, I think I have all the anatomy that I need for this for this resource. Okay, hold on. Yeah, screenshot. Let's check it out. No, it still doesn't work. Man, I don't know what's wrong. See, it doesn't work. I'll deleting. Still the ear. How come? Stupid bot. I have to fix this all. Did before? No, I still have the ear. The ear painting from July. All right, whatever. Thank you for hanging out, my friends. I'll see you for the next one. It was a fun one, kind of nerdy one, but hey, we're all nerds, art nerds, so we study anatomy. That's all we do. I'll try to do something different on Friday, otherwise I'll just bore you to death. But hey, right here, we're studying nerdy stuff for artists, so I'll see you for the next one, my friends. Until then, have fun drawing, have fun painting, and enjoy any